Steve Moran here with Senior Living Foresight, and today I am talking with Jazon Zuccarri and Scott Stewart. Jazon is with Hamilton Insurance. Scott Stewart is with Capitals with an S, Seniors Housing. And I want to actually, this may seem a little like commercial, but I think it's actually, this is one of the most important conversations we have ever had together. And I think it's something we don't talk very much about. A lot of people tend to see insurance as being kind of this commodity, right? And yet the problem, and in some sense, maybe there's some truth to that. But what seems to really make the difference is the relationship between the insurance broker, Hamilton, Jazon, and the people who are actually buying the insurance, like Scott. And so, Scott, I'd actually like to start with you and have you just talk a little bit about what makes for a great relationship with an insurance broker.
Sure. First off, thanks for having me, Steve. Good to see you, and good to see you, Jazon. I think you nailed it on your preface there, that at one point we were looking at this as a commodity, and we, along with title insurance, all sorts of insurance in title insurance. And ironically, we had been with Hamilton in our early days, and then I was wooed away by a competitor of Hamilton and went with them. We got burned on a particular issue. They weren't there to help us out. And then same time, coincidentally, the relationship with Jazon and Hamilton started to pick back up again. And both looked at each other one day and said, why do we leave? And so we went back and haven't looked back since then. Hamilton's been great. They've been on all sorts of levels. But the biggest one is the one that you hit. It's if it is a commodity and a lot of folks are getting the same coverage from the same insurance companies at relatively the same pricing, then you got to be concerned about the relationship and how accessible the folks are going to be when you need them. Now, luckily, we've got good operators. We've got great buildings. We run pretty tight, and we don't get into situations where we got to call up Hamilton and tell them about an incident at one of our communities. But when we do, we got the whole group's immediate attention, and they get right into action. So it's been I think that the relationship has been forged through that whole history, and we're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I know in both my business and my personal life, having that relationship is so important. So, Jazon, I know that relationships is one of your big differentiators. Can you just talk to me a little bit about your sort of philosophy and how you approach the relationship with your customers, clients? I'd love to hear your philosophy.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think anything that has to do with sales, I think one of the first things you have is, you have to have a good relationship with the client, right? And first and foremost, they need to trust you. They need to be able to rely on you. And then the second piece, which I think is even more important than the relationship piece, is once they give you this opportunity, then you need to deliver. And so I think that is one of the biggest pieces that we pride ourselves on. My father started this company 40 years ago, and since then all we've done is specialize in the senior care space. And so I think our customers, our partners have all been a customer-centered firm and try to meet the needs of the customer. And every customer has different needs and different wants. So I think figuring out what works best for the client. And I think, with Scott, we've been able to take things outside of just the insurance piece. We've been able to work together on so many different fronts in the industry, from different fundraisings for nonprofits that are in this arena, to well, we've mentioned before on your show, Steve is even working with ASHA and some of the other PACs to help tell the story of what senior housing is. So I think even taking outside of just the insurance realm is talking about what other kind of opportunities can we work together on.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that a lot. I find that it's so easy to get focused on price, and I wasn't quite sure whether I even wanted to say this, so I'm going to give some clarification. Right, what I would say, what I find in my business relationships, insurance and otherwise, is that I'm actually willing to, even if the overall cost is slightly higher, the relationship is so important that usually the net effect is that the cost is lower. And the reason I wasn't sure I wanted to say that is I don't want to imply your prices are too high, because that's not true. I think I know you guys do a great job on pricing as well. And I don't want to mischaracterize that, but for me, and I think for most businesses where it works really well, the relationship has actually got to be the very most important part, because it's all about solving problems together. So
for sure. And I think talking about something on that line is, not even just finding just the cheapest price is not always the best price, right?
That's true.
And
that's
so
right.
One of the things is, if your house burned down, you want to make sure the next it's going to get rebuilt and it's covered, and that the money you've been paying is going to be used to do that. And so I think that one of our biggest goals that we strive to do is find our clients the best coverage at the most economical prices. And so I think making sure that the client also is aware of, this is what you have, and this is what covers you in these situations. So I think we, really strive to do a good job on the explanation piece as well.
Cool. Scott, anything else?
Yeah, I would say that the accessibility is one thing, and Hamilton checks out their 5 stars. But it's you relate to this better than Jason can, probably, Steve. When you get the gray around the temple, you get to a point in your career where you want to work with people that you like, and as opposed to who you have to. And so that's again where Hamilton checks all the boxes here. And it's as Jason pointed out, it's a family affair, and everybody there is part of the great team, and they got a really good and deep team there. So that's what you want for that's at least what we want for.
Yeah, terrific. And I just, the thing is, I would say is that I'm kind of like you, Scott. Early on in my career, I did business and with kind of whoever I had to do business with, because I needed to make a living. And I'm fortunate to be in a place where it's really, really important that I work with people I like. And I think that more broadly, for anybody who is particularly on the vendor side in senior living, this is a powerful, powerful lesson that your customer service and liking your customers is super, super important. So Jason, Scott, thank you very much for the conversation. Customer service is sort of one of my big passions and my favorite things to talk about. So appreciate your thoughts today.